So hello everyone, in this video I'll be discussing about for in and for off loop. So the for in loop actually works very easily when you want to actually get the elements from the objects or from an array. So let's do the same thing with a for loop or for in loop. So I'll be not commenting this out. You just have to use the var keyword for the item index. So I'll be using let's say I in cities. So you don't have to write all this long code for getting the index. You can directly use this in operator or this in keyword to do something. If I just console log the same thing which was earlier, let me just log I first, then show you what happens now. Now if you see 0, 1, 2 is this, still we are getting the same index. But if I use cities and the index, so we can get the item or the element from the array. You can see it is easy now. Similarly, we can use for in loop for object as well. So let's say we have this one more object called person, or let's say student, and in this object I'm specifying some properties. Let's say name, let's say Raj, let's say we have class in smaller case, and I can specify class here. Let's say I have roll number 7. Now if I want to get all the values for this prop or this properties values in the properties, so I can actually use for in loop for that. So let's use it. For in loop will be similar to this way as well, but you can name this variable anything. But for the sake of understanding that it is applied on an object, we use prop as a variable name. So you can use any variable name, but we use prop here. So we get the idea that we are working on objects, and we get the properties in here. So that's why it is telling us like to name this prop is meaningful. Now I can specify, earlier we were specifying the array, now we'll be specifying this object. So I can specify student here. Now if I console log it, let's say if I console log prop, you will see the property name here, name, class, roll number. And if you want to get the value from for the property, you will be using the same square bracket notation for this for getting the value. So let's say we have this prop first, prop plus, and then we can get the value after that. So I'll be using the object name, which is student, and after the square bracket, inside the square bracket I can specify this prop. By this we'll be getting the value of that property, not the property itself. If I do this, now this word or this variable will print the property name. After that there will be a colon, and then we'll be getting the value of that property. Let's see that. Now you can see we have the values name, colon, and name is Raj, or the property value is this, so we are getting that. Similarly for other properties as well. So this way you can grab the items or property and the value of those property by using for in loop. We also have for off loop. That for off loop works like this, that we have this for off loop, and by using for off loop we can actually get the element itself. So earlier we were using for in loop to get the index of that array, but in here we can directly get the element from the array. So I'll be using for off loop, and this is a ES6 format. So this will only work if the browser supports ES6 version of JavaScript. And now I'll be using the variable the array name. So cities is the array name, so I'll be using that. So it only works on the iterable objects, just like arrays and strings. So those are iterables, so that's why we can use them. Now if I console log this element, so we can directly get the value. Instead of getting it like this, we specify index or I variable in square bracket. We'll directly get the element from the array. Let's see that. You can see we are getting directly the value Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. If we do this on a, let's say, string or a string variable, let's say my name, if we has this one, so if I do this on this my name variable, which is a string, so we'll be getting the individual letters instead of the elements, just like in the arrays. We'll be getting the individual array items or this characters. If we do this, you can see we are getting individual letters in separate line. So these were some for in and for off loop. I hope you got something. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in the another one.